महागुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुस्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. ओम ओम नारायण नारायण नारायण. सी ननु च एवं बाधकेन ज्ञानेन भेदज्ञान कारणस्य अनाद्यज्ञानस्य सर्वथा विनष्टत्वात् कथं भेदज्ञान अनुवृत्तिः. The Purvapakshi was questioning, when you told Badita Anuvritti is the reason, Badita Anuvritti means a continuation after falsification. See, continuation after falsification. One should understand continuation and continuation after falsification. They think continuation after falsification means it is same continuing like before. This difference is not understood. They only go by the words, not looking at what it implies. Okay? So, nanucha evam badhakena jnanena. It is just another point I am commenting, but I continue the Purvapakshi. Badhakena jnanena. With the jnanam which falsifies the ajnanam. Ajnanam means the adhyasa, due to which you appear to be pramatru and look at the world and relate to them. Looking means relating to the world. I remain an individual being related to other within a state. In short, it means that you are a person within a state, like waking or dream. Both while experiencing appear like a waking only. So you find yourself to be an individual, identify with a body, mind and sense organs, and then you are a part of a world and you are interacting with others. That means you act as a karta, you get a result as a bhokta, and you come to perceive certain things. You are a perceiver perceiving certain things, and you are an actor. That means you are an agent of action. Karta, you do action and get some result, that is a bhokta. So this kind of an experience is called jnatru jneya. So you as an individual located in time and place and located within the world. Okay, you are a part of the world, surrounded by the world. There is a world around me. Okay, if there is a world around me, then you are an individual. Okay, then you are an individual. So badha means you are no more an individual. You are not within a state. You are free from state. Badha means you understand that your individuality is not there in you. You are free from individuality. You remain a sakshi, you are free from individuality. Then pramatrutvam, pramata, as a pramata knowing the prameya. Just a minute. As a pramata knowing the prameya, as a karta doing some action, as a bhokta going through being subjected to pain and pleasure and certain experiences. So this is called jivatvam, and this jivatvam is brought about by adhyasa. Adhyasa. So falsification means understanding that you are free from adhyasa. What do you mean by falsification? Falsification means you are not subject to adhyasa. You are free from adhyasa, you are free from pramatrutvam. Pramatru, kartru, bhoktru. So, when you understand you are free from kartru, bhoktru, pramatu, in that understanding you are no more pramatru. You are not kartru, you are not bhoktru, you are not within the state. States may be kalpitam in me, but I am not a part of the state. I have no state. In short, you have no states. You are free from all states. States are there only to an individual. That is adhyasa. States are imposed upon you. That means to be able to see adhyasa, you should be a pramatru within the state. You have to be within adhyasa, then only you come to experience the world. That is the individuality and the world and all that. Then when you discover, you understand, you understand that pure existence is free from subject-object duality. So that assumption of subject-object duality ceases to be there. And you are the pure existence or pure consciousness, whatever you say, you are free from all the duality, all the world. Okay, therefore, badhakena jnanena, bheda jnanam. Bheda jnanam means pramatru prameya. Okay, bheda jnanam means standing a pramatru, knowing the prameya. Okay, kasya anadya jnanasya, and the karanam, see, one is the bheda jnana, and its cause is beginningless adhyasa. The perception of duality. Duality means perception of perceiving yourself as an individual related to something. I stand as an individual being related to something else, me and something else. This duality, and this duality is due to adhyasa. So both of them are sarvatha vinashtatvat. Jnanena, by knowledge, this adhyasa is broken, adhyasa is erased. Erased means adhyasa is understood to be non-existent for you. Means you stand free from adhyasa. So katham bheda jnana anuvrittihi, to such a person where the duality, perception of duality is understood as false, is non-existent for me, how can the duality persist? Bheda jnana anuvritti means persist. Okay. Tadabhavecha. If Bheda Jnanam was not there, that means that I am a person and there is another person, another Ajnani. There is an Ajnani other than me, because he can't see himself Ajnani. He can't see himself as a Shishya. There has to be a Shishya other than him. So I am Ajnani and there is another Ajnani. So Jnani, Ajnani division itself is Ajnana. That he is Ajnani and there is a Ajnani other than me is again a division. The division itself is Ajnana. Therefore, tadabhavecha, if without the division, katham shishyebhyas tattva jnanopadesha. How can he teach unless he assumes that there is somebody ignorant? Tadanuvruttau swayamajnasya katham acharyatvam. Second point, if that perception of duality continues, persists, okay, if perception of duality continues, that means he is not free from duality. He is not free from adhyasa. When the perception of duality persists, he is not free from adhyasa. When he is not free from adhyasa, still he continues to be an individual perceiving duality. How can he be acharya? How can he constitute an acharya? Okay, acharya has to be free from duality, free from adhyasa. Then to be able to teach, you need adhyasa. See, contradiction. To be able to teach, you need duality, which automatically implies adhyasa. Then jnani has to be free from adhyasa. Then if he is free from adhyasa, how can he see duality? If he sees duality, how can he be free from adhyasa? This is the contradiction. Therefore, badhitanuvritti sikarepi, then you may say, Purvapakshi is continuing. I'm just repeating what we discussed in the last class, just to quickly, before I start Swamiji's reply. Badhitanuvritti svikare, even if you accept it is just a continuing falsification, it is not a continuation unfalsified. Okay? It is not a unfalsified, but it is only a bare appearance after falsification. Even if you accept so, katham mithya vishayatva nischaye sati, he has understood that it is mithya. I am not an individual and there is nobody other than me. When a person having understood that I am no individual and there is nothing other than me, even after understanding this thing, upadesha pravrittihi, how can there be pravritti? How can there be action, effort on his part? How can there be an effort on his part? Pravritti. Pravritti means an effort. Oh, just a minute. Page 117. Pens don't write. My pens are a problem. Just a minute, I am noting down a point. Okay, how can there be pravritti? Because pravritti requires kartrutvam. Kartrutvam requires adhyasa. Now it becomes a contradiction. I have to be free from karta, but to be able to teach, I have to assume kartrutvam. Am I free from kartrutvam, or do I continue to be previous karta? Karta before I gave up, before I transcended kartrutvam. Before I transcended kartrutvam, do I continue to have what I transcended? That means you give up and again assume. How is that possible? Katham cha nitya nivritta jnanasya bhagavato. Then the next question is, how can Sri Krishna, who is ever free, nitya nivrittaha, nitya nivrittaha means ever free from duality, sees Arjuna and considers himself as an individual Krishna and considers Arjuna and teaches him. How does he teach? Pravrittihi prati gitopadeshaha tasmat. Therefore, this contradiction seems to be unresolved, unexplainable. It's a contradiction seems to be what to say that? Unsolved, unsolvable. Tasmat vidya vidya swarupa vibhagaha. This division means this classification of knowledge and ajnanam. This is very not clear. It is a confusing, it is overlapping. Jnanam ajnanam is overlapping. Okay? Jnanam ajnanam vidya vidya swarupa vibhagaha. Vibhagaha is overlapping. It is not clearly stated. Okay? Asamanjasaha eva. Therefore, it seems to be unconvincing, unacceptable. Asamanjasa means asamanjasa. Asamanjasa seems to be unconvincing and unacceptable. Okay, this is what Purvapakshi told. Now the Siddhanti. Atra prashtavyo bhavan iti nah pratibhati iti chet. Now, up to this Purvapaksha we have stated in the previous class. So just once again I stated. Now the reply, Swamiji's reply. See, I have to stick to the book. So what Swamiji says, that I am explaining it. Okay? And also trying to see how it applies to our anubhava also, how it goes with our anubhava. Atra prashtavyo bhavan. Here the Siddhanti is replying. Now we have to ask you this question now. Kim dvaita satyatva badakam advaita jnanam angikritya idam prashnajalam pratayate atava anabhyapagamya iti. Now, have you falsified your duality by understanding that you are non-dual Brahman? Having understood that, you are asking this question? Or before gaining knowledge, you are asking the question? See, Swamiji's reply goes to the core of the problem. Now, Dvaita Satyatva Badakam Advaita Jnanam. The knowledge of non-duality, which falsifies the very Adhyasa. Falsifying means you understand that it is false. That I shall tell you. Falsifying and destruction and falsification, there is a difference. We have to understand. I think the problem in destruction and understanding, this is not clear. So I think it will come in the next 2 or 3 sentences. It will come. I shall explain there. Now just to take it for granted that it is a badakam. So the jnanam which falsifies, what is that falsification? Badakam advaita jnanam angikritya idam prashnajalam pratayate. All this series of questions you put, having falsified, and standing as a Brahman, that you understood, having understood as a Brahmatvam, or without falsifying, you remain Pramatru, Kartru Bhoktru Jiva, then as that Jiva, as that Shishya, as an Ajnani, you are putting this question. That means, who is to understand the answers to this question? Where are you? Where do you stand when I am answering to these questions? Or when you are putting these questions, where are you? Where are you means what are you? Where do you stand? All of them cannot be understood just by an intellect as a neutrally. Neutrally, it's not just an academic topic. So, when you are listening to Vedanta, you are trying to understand yourself. Vedanta is not a bookish subject to be understood yourself being neutral. Neutral means unconnected to your life and yourself. Vedanta is meant for mumukshu. Mumukshu who has the vairagyam viveka and he wants to understand himself as a Brahman. Not that, no, I am not interested, I don't have vairagyam, I am still a worldly man, still I want to understand Vedanta. I feel I don't know how to teach such people Vedanta. Neither we can teach. If there are some people who can convince such people who are not mumukshu but want to understand Vedanta, there might be some people, I don't know, you approach better such people. But we can't teach, because neither we have learnt that way nor we can teach anybody that way. So that's impossible for me, and we can't do that. So he says, a mumukshu who has a vairagyam, who is an antarmukhi, who wants to understand how I am not pramatru, how I am not karta bhokta, and how I am Brahman. Okay, I want to see myself as a Brahman, not what the book says, not that I am interested in becoming a scholar. Becoming a scholar, studying is a different subject. See, different subject means modern academicians study. Our traditionally studying Veda, Vedanta, protecting the Vedanta is a dharma of Dvijas, Brahmanas. So Brahmanas study Vedanta, just as they study Veda. It is just protecting the Shastra. You study them, try to learn the arguments, the sentences meaning, argument meaning, memorize them, try to understand them, pass on to them. It is just a passing on the tradition. He himself is not a mumukshu. He studies Vedanta as a dharma of Brahmana, so that it will give it to the next generation. Among the students, if there is a real mumukshu, he will be benefited. But he himself is not a mumukshu. He is only just like a librarian. He is like a librarian. He preserves the book. When there is a genuine reader, a genuine seeker of knowledge, he will give the knowledge to them. So it is a purely an intellectual knowledge for him, a conceptual knowledge. And then so for such people, he himself is not convinced, but he only just memorizes the arguments of them and he just repeats them to others. So if he is only a Brahmana who is supposed to learn them, understand them, and understand the very argument in it, not apply to life, to his own anubhava. He doesn't see how I am Brahman, just memorizes the arguments and then repeats to the next student. It is only protecting dharma. So when he follows the dharma like that, he gets punyam and he will go to heaven. He won't understand Brahma Jnanam, he won't get Jnanam, he won't become Mukta Purusha. He will go to heaven because he is doing a job of librarian jobs. So it is a dharma for him. So those who are not interested in learning Vedanta, not interested in moksha, yet if they study, either it should be their dharma. If it is a dharma for you, then you can do it, then you will understand. If it is a simple curiosity, I think you are ubhaya brashta. Okay? I am not telling everybody, I am talking to our traditional people. So those who come to our karyalaya, only to such people, traditional people I am talking. So if it is a dharma, if you are not a mumukshu, study it as a dharma. Then if you are a mumukshu, naturally it is your own dharma. Dharma means understanding Brahma Jnanam and getting liberated is your goal. You want moksha purushartha. Or if it is an upasana, you can do either a dharma as your Brahmana dharma, or if it is an upasana, sometimes you study Vedanta and within the Saguna Brahma you take it and see that whole thing is an Ishvara Leela, that you are seeing that Brahma, Vedanta, Upanishad, Shankara Bhashya, and Guru Shishya, all this is Ishvara. Vishwarupa Upasana, you do it. You are an Upasaka. As a result of Upasana, you will go to Brahmaloka. All that is good. So you may study Vedanta itself as a Sampradaya itself is a Bhagavan's Leela. And the Vedanta, subject, knowledge, intellectual, physical, everything, all this is Ishvara Leela. You are watching as a Ishvara Leela. And then it is an Upasana for you. So as a result of it, you don't get Brahmajnanam, but you will go to Brahmaloka. Because you are seeing, doing it as an Upasana. So if you are a Brahmana or a Dvija, you study Vedanta. As a librarian, just to protect it, it is your dharma. Or if you are Upasaka. Third thing is if you are a Jignasu. If you are a Jignasu, then you don't require to be a Brahmana, you don't require to be a Dvija. You can be anybody, any caste, anywhere, whether an Indian, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Chandala, or even Mlecha, foreigner, anybody you can be. So if you are a Jignasu, if you are a Mumukshu, then you are interested in the truth, then that study is different. That is purely for the sake of understanding the truth. In fact, he is the main Adhikari. That is the main Adhikari for Vedanta. He is the real person who is supposed to listen. Vedanta is meant for such people, written only for such people. Okay, so other people may study for that. But if person, neither he studies it as a dharma, as a librarian means how do you take up the librarian job? Then Shastra should give you that job. Shastra should give you that dharma. If Shastra doesn't give, I can't take up myself. You have to be a qualified and appointed librarian. You can't go and sit in the library, I am a librarian, I want to do that. A self-taken job is not a dharma. Dharma has to be prescribed by Shastra. Otherwise, it will be an entertainment for you. It will be an individual personal curiosity. Personal curiosity is not a dharma for anybody. Personal curiosity gives unnecessary wrong samskara and spoils a person. Shastra Vihita Dharma or Shastra Vihita Upasana or Tattva Jignasu Mumukshu can study. Only 3 Adhikaris. I mean, as I understand, as I say in the Shastra, these are the only 3 Adhikaris. Other people, the 4th kind of people, just curiosity, neither it is a dharma, nor it is upasana, nor it is a mumukshutvam, you want to be liberated. Just you want to study out of curiosity. I feel you are only wasting your life. The valuable human life you are wasting. You have to study more as a, take up your dharma. Whatever is your dharma, Shastra prescribes, so follow it, and you will get the real punyam, real that you get a good samskara. Your personality will be purified and really very good. You will develop a very good, healthy personality. If it is your dharma, because studying Vedanta as a librarian, as a scholar, and learning and repeating it is not the only way, is not the only karma yoga. Karma yoga gives the purity of mind and antarmukha vairagya, but intellectual exercise study is studying Vedanta and passing on to others as a karma yoga. Only people can take only for whom it is a dharma. For those it is not dharma, then you do whatever is your dharma, like Kshatriya follows his own administrative dharma, Vaishya follows his own business and agriculture and other things, then Shudra follows his own crafts, his own handicraft, and then whatever artisans, whatever the profession, engineering, technology he follows it. That as a karma yoga, as a seva, or you do as a social service, or any other things. So if you do whatever is your dharma prescribed for the Shastra, you will get Antakarana Siddhi equally. Studying Vedanta as an intellectual pursuit, that is not the only way of karma yoga. For karma yoga, all your professions, whichever profession, whichever dharma, you can follow as a karma yoga. So karma yoga, which is prescribed by the Shastra. You can't select out of your curiosity and call it karma yoga, because the very curiosity is ego, is a personal. So you are not receiving it as a dharma prescribed by the Shastra. It is not an ajna of a guru, nor ajna of a Shastra. It is my personal curiosity and interest. Personal curiosity, interest is just like any other pursuit of you like it and just want to go for a walk and then see them. A personal liking Liking comes under Ragadvesha. Ragadvesha doesn't constitute dharma. Okay? Ragadvesha doesn't constitute dharma. Dharma has to be prescribed by the Shastra, and then I accept it humbly and sincerely out of devotion. I pursue it. Then if I pursue it simply as a karma yoga, I'll get antakarana shuddhi. If I pursue it as a dharma, I'll get my punya. Or if I pursue it as a upasana, they'll get brahmaloka. Then if I pursue as a mumukshu, then I'll get jnanam right here. Okay? So adhikari should do that. Anadhikari doing it, it is unnecessarily working for contradiction. Okay, this is just a little side issue. Okay, let us proceed with the topic. So, Dvaita Satyatva Badhakam Advaita Jnanam Angikritya. Having gained Advaita Jnanam, you are putting a question. Then Anabhyupagamya, or you say that Advaita Jnanam is impossible. Advaita Jnanam is impossible, then you are arguing. If Advaita Jnanam you have not gained it, then you continue to be same Pramatru, Kartru, Bhoktru, Jiva before. Okay, and then you are within Adhyasa. If you have falsified your Adhyasa, you are free from Adhyasa. If you are within Adhyasa, then you are already Karta, Bhokta, Jnata. Okay, then Tatra Prathame Kalpe, in the first alternative, where you gained Jnanam by falsifying Adhyasa, by understanding that the assumption that I am an individuality is an assumption and I am free from that assumption. Okay? I am not under the assumption. I am not subject to assumption. I become free from the assumption. I am not yielded to that assumption that I am an individual. I am an individual is an instinctive assumption, anadi adhyasa. An instinctive assumption, instinctive misconception. I understand that I am not subject to it. So I have no assumption, I am free. Okay? So if prathame kalpe tavat na prashnaha na pichottaram, if you falsify it, there is no question and no answer. Do you have a question? You don't have a question. Because once you falsify, there is no pramatrutvam, there is no adhyasa for you, then you see yourself as a chaitanyam consciousness, then what? So, so if you see Adhyasa, then you are already in it. If you are free from Adhyasa, there is no question. Okay. So, you cannot ask this question because this question is not your question. Because your very understanding of freedom from Adhyasa means freedom from all questions. See, all these questions doesn't arise for a Chaitanya Atma, Advitiya Chaitanya Atma, who falsifies, who transcends the very Adhyasa, who becomes free from Adhyasa. A person who is free from Adhyasa doesn't stand as an individual. Then when he doesn't stand as an individual, then these questions do not arise. So no question, no answer, because they don't arise for you. And next, or nahi advitiya tattva jnane sati, same thing. If advitiya tattva jnane sati, Swamiji himself is answering why I should answer. Tadvitiya tattva jnane sati, when the jnanam of non-duality takes place, sati punarapi kinchit chodyam bhavati, no question, because the very question is not from intellect. Okay? Question is not from intellect. Question is coming from your pramatru. You stand as a pramatru, you stand as a pramatru within Adhyasa, that is the basis of question. If you falsify the pramatrutvam and become free from Adhyasa, in that Adhyasa-less Chaitanyam, no question arises. That means question means pramatrutvam. No, answer means being from pramatrutvam. You understand this thing. Question and answer is not in the intellect. Question means standing as a pramatru. Answer means becoming free from pramatrutva. See, that is there. Or do you stand as a pramatru or free from pramatru? If you understand you are not pramatru, then you got the answer. If you still are a pramatru, then question continues without answer. Because answer doesn't convince you, no answer. Convince whom? Pramatru. Which answer can convince the pramatru? Pramatrutvam itself resists all conviction. Pramatrutvam itself resists all answer. If you stand as a pramatru, no answer can convince a pramatru. because the Pramatrutvam itself denies, resists all answers. Only answer is where you falsify the Pramatrutvam, then that is answer. Okay, therefore, punarapi kinchit chodyam bhavati. No question is possible. Dvitiye tu kalpe. If you take the second alternative means Pramatrutvam is not falsified, but you stand as a Pramatru within Adhyasa. That means you are still Indriya Manassu Adhyasa is there, identification with the body, mind and sense organs is there, and still you are a Pramatru. Then in that, if such a person is putting a question, Agnya Drishtya, such a person who is in Adhyasa, and such from his standpoint, Sarvopyayam Vyavaharaha Avakalpate Eva, that there is a Guru, that there is a Shishya, there is a Guru, and then I am a Shishya. Because I am a Jignasu, I don't know how I am Brahman, I see the world, time and place and desha, kala, vastu, subject, object, duality, karta, karma, bhokta, bhogya, everything is there. And there is a Shastra, Guru, Shishya, all this obtains only within Adhyasa, within Avidya only. Therefore, Sarvopyayam Vyavaharaha Avakalpate Eva, all that persists, all that is there anyway. Avakalpate means all that is there anyway. Iti nakasyachid akshepasya avakashaha. No question, there is no room for any question. There is no room for any question. Because what question? Because you are already ignorant. If an ignorant person doesn't see the duality of Guru Shishya, who will see that? It is ignorant person alone sees. All duality continues in ignorance alone. Then what is surprising about it? We say duality is within ignorance. Then if you see duality, then that means you are ignorant. And in the ignorance, if the duality doesn't continue ignorance, where else it will continue? Duality continues, or duality obtains in Adhyasa only. So that's not surprise. That is no surprise. So akshepasya avakashaha. So no room for any objection, for any question. Nahi Advaita Siddhante. This is next point. Nahi Advaita Siddhante Jnanotpatya Jnana Bada Guru Shishya Bhedopadeshadikam Paramartaha Ityabhyupagamyate. In Advaita Siddhanta, Jnanotpatti, rising of Jnanam, Ajnana Bada. 4 points is talking. Rising of Jnanam, then that Jnanam falsifies Ajnanam, second point. Third point is Guru Shishya Bhedaha. That, so this, for the Jnanam rising you need Vichara. Vichara requires the teaching. Then the Guru Shishya relationship. Guru Shishya Bheda means Guru Shishya relationship. Then the teaching that continues within the relationship of Guru Shishya duality. So all these 4 are not Paramarthikam. Means all these don't exist for Brahma. For Advitiyam Brahma, they exist only within Avidya only. From Avidya standpoint, this much we can say. Paramartha ityabhyupagamyate prapancha sadbhava tannivrittiva paramartike. Neither the existence of prapancha, dvaita prapancha, and its removal. Both of them are not real. Real means both of them don't happen, don't exist for Brahma. Brahma, from your Advaita Anubhava, there was an Avidya and it is removed. These two both don't exist. Neither Avidya nor its removal. Because Avidya and its removal, both of them assuming Avidya only. From the standpoint of Avidya alone, you talk of these two, but in itself in Brahman, neither. Okay, this we have told before. Okay, so Nivritti, Paramarthike iti, they are not real. Dvaita Jnana Sandushita Chittanam tu Shishyana Ankramena Bodhana Yedam Sarvam Prakriya Rachanamiti Natra Kinchid Asamanjasyam. So last sentence Swamiji says, before he takes a few quotations of Bhashya, Shankara Bhashya, he gives an explanation. Dvaita Jnana Sandushita Chittanam. A person who is already an Ajnani and lives within Adhyasa, to such a person, to Shishyanam Kramena Bodhanaya. See, Shishya asks, how do I know he is a Guru? How do I know that he is a Brahmajnani? If he is a Brahmajnani, how do I know that he is a Brahmajnani? So that I can go to him and learn Vedanta. He is a disciple, he wants to go to a Guru and learn that. How does he identify a Guru? So in order to help the disciple, all this is talked about, Badhitan Vritti, Loka Vyavahara, all that is talked from Ajnani standpoint. Ajnani standpoint, it is talked about only to help an Ajnani to approach a Guru and accept him out of respect. He should accept that his Guru is Brahmajnani, then only he will listen to him, he will have a faith or a Shraddha in him. Shraddha is not a faith, but Shraddha is little more than a faith, means a reverence and acceptability. Okay, an openness. So then only it will continue. If you think like that, see here you have two things. If he is a Brahmajnani, does he see me? As a disciple, I am an Ajnani. Am I visible to him? If he doesn't see me, how will he teach me? My question is, if I went to a Jnani, I went to a Guru. Is he Jnani or Ajnani? If he is a Jnani, he doesn't see duality, means he doesn't see me. If he doesn't see me and he doesn't stand as an individual, then how can he teach me? Then if he also takes as an individual and he sees me as an Ajnani, then he is an Ajnani because he is seeing duality. How can he teach me? This doubt arises for me only. Okay? This doubt is there for a disciple. So from the standpoint of disciple, all these answers are given from Ajnani standpoint, not from Jnani standpoint, because all teaching culminates with knowledge. Once he gets knowledge, all teaching, everything closed. After Jnanam, the talk of after Jnanam is only with reference to Ajnani, with reference to a disciple. The talking of after Jnanam, the very thought of after Jnanam comes only to Ajnani. With Jnanam, everything ends. Because there is no question, no answer, you are Advitiyam Brahman. Therefore, after the talk of after Jnanam is only for sake of Jignasu, for sake of a sadhaka, from his standpoint and for his sake. Two things. For his sake and from his standpoint, all these questions and answers. Now, Ajnani have to be convinced. He has to be convinced how my Guru is Jnani who doesn't see duality. He may not see duality, but at least he should see me and teach me. Otherwise, how will I get my Jnanam? Jnani, he is a Jnani. He may not see Advaitam, but at least he should see me as a disciple and teach me. Do you expect it or not? No. My Guru will not see me as a disciple. Then only I will go to him. You search for a Guru, let me see which Guru you will find. If you go for a Guru who will not see you as a disciple, you go and you find out. He also doesn't exist as an individual and he will not teach you. He will not see you as a disciple. He alone is real Brahmajnani. Okay, find out such a person. Where will you find? Where will you find? It becomes impossible. Therefore, we say it is from the Ajnani standpoint, he is a non-dual. In his Anubhava, he doesn't exist, the individual which I am seeing from my standpoint. I am seeing from my standpoint, here is a person, here is a Guru, talking like me, like an individual. He is appearing, they say, now to say, he may appear to you like an individual, but to himself he doesn't stand. Okay? Like blue sky appears to me, but sky himself is not blue, though it appears to me. The sun appears to me rising and setting, but sun himself doesn't rise and set. Sun, in spite of not rising, not setting, appears to me as rising and setting. Okay? Sun rising and setting, to himself he neither rises nor sets, but appears to me as a rising and setting. Okay? Similarly, he himself doesn't stand as an individual, but appears to me as an individual. So, by appearing to me as an individual, he doesn't compromise his being non-dual. He doesn't compromise himself being non-dual. Because I need it, therefore he appears to me. I need it, therefore appears to me. That appearance as an individual is only for sake of me from my standpoint. What appears to me may not exist for himself. See, what appears to me, sun is rising and setting appears to me, but it doesn't exist for sun. You ask the sun, you have arisen. So just 2 hours ago you have arisen it. See, how are you living before you have risen? You ask the sun, How are you there before you have risen? Sun says, before my rising? What do you mean? See, you have risen. I know you have risen 2 hours ago. You have risen 2 hours ago. How about you before you have risen? I say, what is this risen 2 hours? What is all this? Sun asks, hey, come on, don't kid me. Don't behave as if you don't know. Don't act. Don't act. You have risen 2 hours ago. I have seen with my own eyes. Don't talk. Come on, tell me. How were you existing before you have risen? What should Sun say? Yeah, I was in darkness. I was covering my blanket and I was dark, and later I came and appeared to you. He has to say, that is a good answer. I am convinced, he says. Then he has to answer only that. What else can he say? Which answer will convince him? See, no rising, no setting. I have been like this alone. I have been here alone, like here. What I am now, I have been like this alone. I am like this. I am eternally like this. He says, you have been here only? Here? You have not risen? There was no darkness. You have been like this only? Yes, I have been like this only. Which fellow will accept? Sun is lying. That fellow just now I have seen, he is risen, and then you say he is lying that I am here only, right now here. How will you convince the disciple? Tell me. Sun has to say, Sun has to assume Shishya's darkness upon himself. The Sun has to assume Shishya's darkness upon himself. Yes, before rising there was darkness, and I have risen and came now, just now. Okay, is it convincing to you? Yes. Now I am convinced. Yes, first. So, if you are convinced, listen to me what I say, how you are free from all rising and setting. I will teach you. You will understand it. Yes, teach me. So, he has to be taught that how Sun, though free from rising and setting, appears to be rising and setting from my standpoint. You have to say that. So, Shishya has to be helped. How my Guru has to be Jnani. Jnani means the duality which I am seeing is free from it. Okay. It is something like, earlier you were in a cave. In the cave it was all dark. You come to the edge of a cave. Edge of a cave, door of a cave. When you come to the door of a cave, then you can see the bright light. So, when you are just at the door of the cave, are you in the cave or outside the cave? You get all light of the cave. Though you appear to be within the cave, but you have got all light of the cave. Light of the outside. I mean, light of outside the cave. You have got all light of outside the cave. You be just at the edge of the cave. So you see the cave, but you are not suffering from the darkness of the cave. You are edge of the cave, but doesn't suffer from the darkness of the cave. If you say this kind of a state where he is free from duality, but assumes duality for sake of me, this convinces a disciple, and he goes ahead for teaching. He goes ahead for listening. So this explanation is given for a disciple to help him to understand. Otherwise, his question remains big question. Is my Guru a Jnani or not? If he is a Jnani, then how will he teach me? If he sees me, then how can he be fit to teach me? He might see all those people who sees me, all those gurus who see me as a disciple and try to teach me, they are unfit to teach me. If those who are fit, they will not see me. Where will you go? If you have such a situation, where will you go? Therefore, for the standpoint of disciple, it is told that he is just like that at the end of a tunnel. The tunnel is gone. You are seeing the bright light. The darkness is gone. Though you are in the tunnel, you are such an edge that you are seeing all light alone. In the tunnel, do you see light? There will be only darkness only. You are free from darkness. You are the edge of the tunnel. The edge portion is tunnel, is nominally in the tunnel, but it is always nominally in the cave. It is already outside, because it has got all light of outside the cave, non-cave, all light of open place. You have got all light of open place. You see everything. You have got totally open. There is a bright light. Bright light you see. But you can only imagine the darkness, but you don't have the darkness. You don't have the darkness at all. You just only assume, okay, as if there is a darkness. You just assume and talk. Okay, so this kind of, so then he will have a Shraddha in Guru and listen to Guru. It doesn't take Guru. Guru is an individual just to communicate these words, these expressions, these ideas. Himself doesn't stand as this individual. The individuality is for sake of me, for sake of communication. Himself stands without the individuality is an instrument in his hands to use it like a mic. You use the mic, but mic is not the person. I use the mic to communicate to you, to be able to listen. Like I use a computer or a cell phone, I write it, I type in it and send you, but I am not the cell phone. Okay? I stand beyond the cell phone, I use the cell phone. Similarly, I use the mic, through mic I speak. Similarly, he uses sense organs and mind. Sense organs and mind and body, they are usable instruments, but he stands beyond them. He stands beyond them. Those instruments express for sake of disciple. Okay, if this answer is taken, it convinces him. So the duality which I am seeing, that he is my Guru, he is a Jnani, and I am a Shishya, I am an Ajnani, Jnani, Shishya and Guru. This difference of Jnani, Ajnani, difference of Guru and Shishya, even this is for my sake, from my standpoint, one who transcends even this Jnani, Ajnani difference. There is no Jnani, Ajnani. There is only one Brahma, free from Jnanam, Ajnanam. Okay, that is real Brahma, and my Guru stands there. And it is only for sake of me, I am saying it. It just, he has come to the edge of the tunnel. Almost he doesn't have a tunnel. I mean, edge of the cave. He is free from cave. Okay. He is seeing all light. I am still inside the cave. I am still darkness. And he tell him, doesn't matter. It is like a person who is on the upper floor. Person who stands on the upper floor can see me. I can't see him. Okay. He can see me. It is something like he can see me, but I am in the darkness. I can't see him. I am in the darkness, but he can see me where I am standing. He can tell me, oh, come to little left. Now turn to the right. Now take 2 steps more. Now he keeps on guiding, and I don't know where I am. I just blindly put my leg here. Okay, because he knows better. Where I am standing, where I am supposed to put my leg, he knows. It is something like a blind man walking, and a man with eyes is guiding him. And telling, hey, next stone is coming, turn to left. Now you can turn to the right. Okay, now you walk the steps, walk down the steps. Now you climb the steps. Now you are coming. Okay, you have come. Now this is the place. Then here is a chair, come on, sit. A blind man cannot see the chair, but he can see. Guru can see the chair. So he guides the chair. Okay, come on, sit here. Like that. Just giving example. Don't take every example literally. Some of things don't apply. Some of the things don't apply. Just as a broad understanding. Don't take literally and try to apply and then do all the chair and I'm blind and all that thing. These are all just example is example. Partly applies, partly doesn't apply. The idea, just imply an idea, examples are given. Okay. And illustrations are given as just an example, partly applicable. So it means that he is free from me, then even this, that he is a Guru teaching me this thing. And then as I understand, even your Guru is yourself, Shishya is yourself, everything is yourself. You understand that the Guru and his teaching and my remaining as a disciple, all this is false. Neither I was a Shishya, nor there was a Guru other than me. Neither there was a Guru ever other than me, nor there was a Shishya. I never been a Shishya, I have never been an Ajnani, nor I had any Guru other than me. I have been the same Brahman, the same consciousness. I have been even now and I shall ever be. I am always Brahman alone. This is his understanding. So it is a tentative assumption of Guru Shishya. Okay, this is how we explain. Now just a little point. This avidya lesha and badha. There is a difference between this. I don't discuss much. I'll just touch a little bit and leave here because this is a topic of partly in Mula Vidya Nirasa or Prakriya Pratyabhigna, because when we are discussing other schools, each prasthana Swamiji takes up Panchapadika prasthana, Vivarana prasthana, then we see the compare contrast, all those things. Avidya lesha. Avidya lesha is same as not Badhita Anuvrutti. So there is a lot of difference we'll discuss. See, Avidyalesha, I'll just touch 2 or 3 points and leave them. Avidyalesha implies that a part of avidya is not falsified. Jnanam cannot tackle a part of avidya. Okay? One. Then in Badita, no avidya is left out, all avidya is totally false. Totally doesn't exist. Then avidya lesha coexist with jnanam. And for sake of this is second point. Third point is avidya lesha continues as long as prarabdha is there. Then at the end of the prarabdha, avidya lesha goes away when the prarabdha goes away. Then after prarabdha goes away, then is a videha mukti, real advaita comes. Okay. That means the jnanam which has risen lives with avidya lesha, continue along with avidya jnana. That means a light coexists with ajnanam, a part of ajnanam continuously throughout prarabdha. At the end alone it tackles the remaining. All these things are just unacceptable, illogical, anubhava viruddha and shastra viruddha and everything viruddha. So we have only touched this point. Badhitanuvrutti, badha is different from destruction. So this one point I just to say briefly, more we'll discuss in Mula Vidya and Nirasa. I'm going to start Mula Vidya Nirasa within 2 or 3 days. As soon as I finish this Sugama within 2 days, I think I'll start Mula Vidya Nirasa. There we'll discuss, and Prakriya Pratyabhigna is one more important book. There we'll discuss many more details. So they say avidya is a padartha. When you say Mula Vidya, it has no praga bhava, but it has got pradhamsa bhava. That means it is beginningless, but it gets destroyed. They talk of destruction. Okay? When you say it has got pradhamsa bhava, it means destruction. It has no praga bhava, it is a padartha and it has got a but badha doesn't mean pradhamsa bhava. Okay? Badha doesn't mean pradhamsa bhava. Badha is different from destruction. Jnanam destroys avidya and then pradvamsa bhava is there. There is no pradvamsa bhava. First thing is that the avidya existing and destruction. Avidya, they say avidya, the Purvapakshi means other people. Not Purvapakshi, the other paksha of our own Advaita. Advaita Ekadesha, let us say. Not Purvapaksha, Advaita Ekadesha. They are our own people, section of our own people. So they say avidya is a praga bhava. That means it has been beginningless, but it can be destroyed. What is avidya has beginning? Avidya is beginningless, endless. It cannot be destroyed. They talk of in terms of destruction. And in that destruction, a part of avidya remains, therefore a trace of avidya remains, therefore mula vidya. Mula vidya cannot, that means there is a 2 stages of avidya, 2 stages of destruction. One is first stage, a major portion of avidya, 95%, 97% of avidya is destroyed by jnanam. Jnanam which has arisen destroys 97-98% of it. Still it coexists with avidya lesha throughout the prarabdha. Then at the last minute kills the remaining small portion trace of it. This shows that first thing is avidya has got 2 parts. One part instantly destroyed, another part lives with jnanam, and the jnanam only keeps on watching but it doesn't destroy. At a later stage it destroys. This is too illogical and anubhava viruddha. And then the real avidya rahita, totally free from avidya, totally free from dvaitam, will come only in videha mukti. That's why they say videha mukti also has got an additional step. But in badha, when we say first avidya, neither dvaitam neither exists nor need to be removed. When we say it is only a perception, dream world neither is produced nor you have to remove it. Snake neither exists nor you remove it. It was only a false perception. You understand it is a false perception, there is no destruction. Understanding its falsity is different from destruction. We only understand because there is no question of destruction because it never existed. Where is the question of destruction? But they say it has got a praga bhava and all this more technical. I didn't want to confuse you. We will discuss later in Mula Vidya Nirasa or even Prakriya Pratyabhigna. It complicates more. So the badha means the whole world is only an appearance. In the appearance alone is understood as an appearance gone. So in appearance there is no pradvamsabhava and destruction. Therefore jnana only falsifies because it is only an appearance and it is only understood as a false. That's all. Not that after understanding it goes away, it destroyed. There is no question of going away. It never existed. Even before you understand, it never existed. Even before falsifying it, it never existed. Where is the question of destroying it? Where is the question of pradvamsa abhava, pradvamsa and abhava? There is no dvamsa, no abhava. Because it is abhava throughout. It never existed. Where is the question of becoming abhava after jnanam? Therefore, that mula vidya prakriya is obviously wrong. So, badha means it never existed, it is only appeared to me. I felt that there is a snake. Was there a snake? And then you destroy it. So, it is only my perception and my perception is understood wrong. So, there was neither existing nor you remove it. See, falsification means neither it existed nor I have removed. This is falsification. Falsification is neither it existed nor you have removed it. They say it is a pragabhava, but it is a pradvamsa. How can it be same? We'll discuss later. So, okay. So, in Bhashyakara, ekasmin brahmani, now the basic answer is given. So, it is an ajnani standpoint. This answer is given. He stands himself as a Brahman. Therefore, standing as a guru and teaching is an appearance for the ajnani standpoint. Like the sun is rising and setting, sky is blue. And in all this appearance from Jiva standpoint, Brahman appears to be a guru and teaching and all that. So, he is appearing from avidya standpoint. It doesn't mean the guru is also avidya. That's important. Guru means a jnani teaching me, or Ishvara, even the karmakanda level also, Ishvara is giving a karma phala, Ishvara is doing srishti sthiti laya, and then Guru is teaching. All this is from ajnani standpoint. Doesn't mean Ishvara is ajnani, doesn't mean Guru is ajnani. See, ajnani standpoint doesn't mean Guru is ajnani. This is the thing. Sun appears to be rising and setting from the ajnana standpoint. Doesn't mean sun undergoes rising and setting. See the difference. Sun appears rising and setting, doesn't mean he undergoes rising and setting. Similarly, Guru appears to be as an individual and teaching like a Krishna appears teaching, doesn't mean he loses his Advitiyam and becomes a dual, comes into duality. He loses his non-duality and comes into duality, doesn't mean that. Ishvara appearing Krishna as an avatara and also teaching all those things. See here one more point, from the Adhyasa standpoint they appear, doesn't mean they also have Adhyasa. See the difference. From Adhyasa standpoint, Guru appears, Ishvara appears, Avatara appears. Doesn't mean Avatara undergoes Adhyasa. Avatara is subjected to Adhyasa. This is the difference. Avatara appearing from Adhyasa is different from himself being subjected to Adhyasa. If you understand these things, instantly you are free from Adhyasa. Okay? Sri Krishna appearing as an avatara, as an human individual and interacting with the world doesn't mean it is from Adhyasa standpoint, avidya standpoint. Doesn't mean he is subject to Adhyasa. Being subject to Adhyasa is different from appearing to the standpoint of Adhyasa. Okay? Appearing from the standpoint of avidya is different from himself being subjected to Adhyasa. As I told you, a person who comes to the edge of a tunnel, edge of a cave, he sees all light, but he is not completely come out of cave. He is at the edge of the cave, last border now, gate, he is at the gate. Gate he sees all light alone. Cave is now gone. Cave is gone. Though he is a part of a cave, appears to be part of a cave, he is outside the cave. Cave means darkness. He is not suffering from all the darkness of a cave. He doesn't suffer from the darkness of a cave. He sees the freedom of outside the cave. Freedom of outside the cave, at the edge of the cave. Okay. Therefore, if this point you don't understand, you can't be a good disciple, you can't listen. If you say that Guru is also within avidya, you think that Ajnani is teaching me. Okay. that means if Avatara is also within my Ajnana, that means he is also subjected to ignorance alone, then you won't get any Jnana. You won't get any Vedanta, you won't understand, you won't be able to remove the Adhyasa and stand as Brahman. Therefore, from the standpoint of Adhyasa, appearing Avatara, Guru, or even Srishti Sthiti, doing a Srishti Sthiti Laya of Ishvara, Ishvara's creation all, and appearing as an Avatara or appearing as a Jnani. All these three, in fact, you appearing as a disciple also is only avidya drishti, otherwise you are not. Even you appearing as a disciple, Ajnani, and receiving Jnanam and doing Vichara is also appearance alone. That also doesn't exist really. You assume and continue, otherwise even that doesn't exist for you. Nobody is a Jnani. Nobody is a disciple. Even that is only assumption. That assumption has to be questioned. If Guru is free from Adhyasa, though appearing to me as an individual, though appearing to me as a Sri Krishna individual, himself is free from Adhyasa, if this point registers you, then I am also like that. Yes, you are. Yes, you are also. If you accept that Krishna is that, then the same is you. In that Bhagavad Gita, those who understand me, Janma karma cha me divyam, yo vetti tatvatah, tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mame. Those who understand that my janma, my karma is only a abhasa. Neither I am born nor I do all Leela, Krishna Leela. My Krishnatvam, appearing as a Krishna, doing as a Leela, is only from the Ajnani standpoint. I myself don't become that. They appear. Those who understand these things, they also become like me, only Brahman. So this point is a prakriya, is an adhyaropa, adhyaropita prakriya, that there is an avatara, that there is a guru, is an adhyaropita prakriya to help a disciple to give up even his disciplehood, is an avidyatvam. Okay. So now the main teaching is over, only a few quotations, and there is a conclusion. Conclusion, 1 or 2 shlokas of Mangalacharana. I think time is up. We can stop with this today. I think we may take one class tomorrow. We'll finish, I think. If there is any point, I may stretch it to 2 classes. Otherwise, 1 class tomorrow. We'll finish Sugama. Om Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat.